the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, always smooth as a Rolls Royce. I'm coming to you live from the 571, where I'm having fun and I'm getting things done. Tonight, we're going to be talking about you dating somebody and you've been dating them for a while, even for a little bit, and they come to you and say, "Hey, I ran into so and so." And you know that that person dated so and so back in the day. Now they might not have said it, "Oh, I just ran into, guess who I ran into so and so." They might be saying it like, "Oh, you know who I ran into? I ran into so and so." And we want to talk about how would you feel if you were the one that saw the person, and we also want to know if you were the person that was seen, or if you're the partner of the person that was seen. Now, before I start, I'm going to talk about my wonderful team. We've been doing this a little bit over 2 years and we're still growing. And we want y'all to like, share, and subscribe. We're also on Facebook Live, IG Live, YouTube Live, and TikTok Live. So without further ado, I want to talk about my favorite girl, the Chocolate Pearl. Holla at your boy.
Thought I wasn't on. I thought I was off mute. Hey, everyone. This is Chocolate Pearl calling you from Duval 904 area code. Here to get this thing popping and snopping and get it rocking. I'm sleepy, so
I know
might be
how
some
that
mumbling going on.
I know how that goes. And next, and next is my sister from the same mister and the same mother. So that means we're related. And I'm gonna say the girl that's sweet as Snapple, she's from New York City, and her name is Apple. Come on, Apple. Is Apple on? No,
No, Apple has a family obligation. She may be on later, but
oh,
she said that she might not be able to make it on because of family obligations.
I got you. I got you.
Well,
And
I'm here.
I'm about see you jumped your turn. I gotta bring you in. And of course, the woman so lean, face sometimes looks mean, but she's more like a kitty cat, and she's where it's at. She's up in the Great White North in Binghamton. I'm gonna give y'all Bean Girl, what we like to call a Beanie. What's going on, Beanie?
Ayo, just got off of work on time, so I was able to make it and didn't. Yay, me again.
Hey,
2 weeks in a row.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to make it a. I'm trying to make it a trifecta, but I'm glad to be here. I don't know about this subject because I can't seem to get away from my ex-boyfriends. So yeah,
I
I
feel
don't yeah, they don't like to leave me alone.
they
I
don't
don't
like
know
to
why.
leave you alone. You might be throwing that
Nah, it's none of
thing.
that. No, 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 nope. It's like a light switch. Once I'm done, I'm done.
That thing a thing. And of course, we have our usual people on here. We got Miss Kim, who's always a faithful and come on now. We got the man from Seattle and always down for a battle. Come on, holla at your boy, Dabs.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Hey, that's what's up. Now we're gonna get ready for this show. And here we go. 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 So so let's talk about it. Let let's hold on. I gotta get smarter than the equipment. Okay. Of course, now I'm smarter than the equipment. So, Big Dabs, holla at your boy. Um, did you ever have one of those Freddie Jackson moments
I
where
did
an,
have.
an ex talk about she saw somebody else for old time's sake?
Yes, I did have one of them moments.
Well, spill.
Well, anyway, let's see. I was dating someone for 4 or 5 months, I think it was. It was pretty serious. She's most of the time stayed at my house. A come to find out, I hear, well, at first it was the story was, oh, I saw somebody. I was like, oh, okay. Then she told me it was an old boyfriend. I thought nothing of it. Okay, cool. Well, then I find out she saw him a few more times. And not only just saw him a few more times, something went down. So,
So did you get jealous off the top, or were you like, my spidey sense going off?
my spidey sense went off and she left my house.
She left your house, or did you kick her out?
I kicked her out.
Okay. Cause you so what what was the did you ever find did she go back and got rocked tonight by like Freddie Jackson?
Found out that I don't know if it was like Freddie Jackson, but there was something going on.
Oh, okay. Monica had a song, I want to say in 98, talking about song about the ex. And that's what she was like, you ain't got no kids with her, and you ain't got no mutual friends. So what's up?
Right?
Do I gotta ride on you? Chocolate Pearl, has that ever happened to you?
Uh, no, but I found that I was guilty of it.
Spill, if you want.
I thought it was innocent, just going, and happen to be in the neighborhood and go and see a old ex that I consider as being a friend. I was later told that that was a no-no. So I didn't think anything of it because it was just a friendly hi and, hey, what's going on? How's life? Person had surgery, checked on them type thing. But when you're in a relationship, I was told that you supposed to leave all your exes in the back. And yeah, I learned that you can't be friends with your exes once you have another relationship.
So yeah, I got you. That's well, I my take on that, my take on that is it depends because if you're keeping stuff above board, I'll give you an example. I had when I was still in the army, I was with a guy. He and his ex-wife went on vacations together. And I looked at him like he was like, what the hell's wrong with you? But he said said they cool, they don't sleep in the same room. They go and it's just something that they did. And if you know your significant other ain't gonna go out there and got ain't not if the store is closed, you kind of know when the store is closed. But sometimes in a new relationship, people feel kind of not themselves, if you know what I mean. Like not I'm not gonna say insecure because like Dad said, his spidey sense went up. And everybody's spidey sense goes up in the first place, but then it's up to the partner to say, hey, nah, that's ain't nothing happening, and actions to show that. All the time it's not, it's not it doesn't always go smoothly, but sometimes you just gotta step back, especially if y'all swap spit or y'all was clashing meats and things like that. Madam D, I want to thank you for coming on. You've been on a couple of weeks. If y'all didn't know, Madam D is my one of my fellow co-hosts on Upscale Vibe Worldwide. She's always got a good take. She's very intuitive, and she's very well spoken as far as getting her point across. So, Solana D, Freddie Jackson, I'm Freddie Jackson, and I roll up to you, and we dated 10 years in the past, or 20 years, high school. And I come up and I'm like, hey girl, how long since we've had a night to party? I miss you. And you say, I got a man. It's like, what your man got to do with me? How would you feel like being that approach? And if you had a man, how you think he would be approached?
I'm kind of where Chocolate Pearl was. I haven't really experienced that because, like, for a very long time, I had this thing where I was single mom, raising my son. So I dated, but I didn't. make any type of commitment, because to me that was my commitment, and I didn't want to bring anybody around him. But then when I did start a date, I did get involved with a guy for about 10 years, and it just didn't go anywhere. So, that didn't work out. However, we're still friends, and we date and we go out and we meet up and go shopping and different stuff. And I'm not really interested in any type of commitment with him, because in the past we did date in a long-term relationship and nothing really came of it.
Was that your
But
choice? Was that your choice, or was that just mutual? Just y'all
um
y'all
I
were
think
FWBs.
I think it was probably his, because I did at one time want like a serious commitment. But he was like divorced. So he really, after going through that, I guess he felt some kind of way about women. So he said he was never going to commit again.
Was he bitter? Did his ex do him dirty?
Yeah, they had a lot of drama in the relationship.
I kind of blame him for that. And
Yeah.
hear me out. A man only takes what drama he's going to take, because if you continually take drama, it's going to be drama's going to be pushed.
Mhm.
So it's a man sets the tempo in the relationship, in
Mhm.
my opinion, and because he's got to be centered within himself. So he got bitter because he probably let her get away with a lot of stuff, and then when he tried to tighten up, she was acting out. So the
Mhm.
chaos was chaosing, and this is just my opinion and not the opinion of everybody else. When a woman doesn't have a man who's moored, who's about himself, she gonna push, because that's y'all do that, y'all push.
Mhm.
And if you start giving pushing it, she loses respect. And then in your turn as the guy, once you figure you get your backbone, you done turn that poor experience of your lack of focus, and you turn it on to the next two, three women, because
Mhm.
you're like, they ain't gonna do me like that. They ain't gonna do me like that. So I ain't gonna commit. I ain't gonna commit. How mature does that actually sound? For real?
Mhm. Mhm. Well, now that we're friends, and I'm not saying I'm looking for a committed relationship, but I often wonder, like, if I did find someone that I got serious with, would that mean that you have to get rid of those old friendships? Because we did have a intimate relationship, like we were very involved. So, but right now in this season, we're not. And even when I see him, it's not like I want to get with him. It's just a pure friendship.
Okay.
But how would someone receive that, knowing that we had that, or would you even necessarily need to even discuss that?
Yeah, you have to. You have to,
you know?
because if you don't, what happens is you get the build up and the build up and the build up, and then it becomes explosive when it didn't have to be that way, when y'all could have talked it out earlier. Now I ain't the greatest at talking. I talk on here because hell, I like this, but
Yeah.
having hard conversations is hard, and sometimes you don't really want to hear it, but you need to hear it. And then but you, as a man, you have to be able to hold your center and be the rock.
Do
It
you
ain't
think that
fun.
friendship would be necessary though? Because at this point, I'm like, if I find somebody else, I probably will be honest with him, like, hey, I found someone, and I just think it might be disrespectful for me to be around you knowing that at one
And
time,
if they're your friend, they understand
you
that.
know.
If if if
So
if they understand that, they say, look,